start off this week the same way we start off every week, and that is with the horrible movie of the week. I don't know, maybe we should change the name of it, because it's really the 5 reasons why you shouldn't watch this movie. Okay, we're just going to change it. It's the 5 reasons why you shouldn't watch this horrible movie of the week. Review.
That's a very long name.
We should get some cool acronym for it. We'll think about that for next week. Yeah, we're not going to think about it this week. So this week, trying to get into the Halloween spirit, I watched what was tagged as a horror movie, but it said it was a horror comedy movie. So I was like, okay, you know what? I really don't like horror movies, so it's not fair to watch one of those because I'll hate it anyway. It doesn't really matter. And, you know, sometimes on these horrible movies, I do end up liking the movie. It's happened once or twice. It's like, oh, you know, not so bad of a movie. I, you know, tricked myself. Yeah.
Yeah, they just got a bad rap for a good movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, that didn't happen for this one. So, yeah, this movie is called Detention. And, again, it was kind of billed as like a horror comedy movie. And it stars Dane Cook. He's in it, and that should have been a good tip-off that it'd be a bad movie. But he's in a lot of big ones. So, also Josh Hutcherson is in it. You might know him as Peeta from the Hunger Games. He's been in a lot of different
that guy. Okay.
So, you know, it's not like it's non-famous people. There's a lot of famous actors in this one, or two.
I mean, Josh Hudson, but he's like, I think he's only big for Hunger Games, as far as I'm aware. But I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, too. I agree. That's all he's known for. So I decided to watch. And, yeah, let's just get into it. Let's go with reason number 1 why you shouldn't watch this. Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, and they kind of carry it throughout most of the movie, they do one of those things where, you know, like, somebody's talking, and they're kind of breaking the fourth wall, and they have, like words pop up. Like, if you've ever seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, they do it really, really cool in that movie, where, like, power up or something like that. You know, and it can work with some movies. It can. It just is horrible with this one because it's like literally just saying the same things that they just said, and it's like I don't need to hear it and read it. Maybe if you needed subtitles, then it'd be in a different language, but it's really distracting / annoying.
Yeah, or if this was closed captioning, but then I would have asked for closed captioning.
Yeah, I don't need that. Not needed. And what you're saying is really stupid. And like the whole intro's like, you know, oh, I'm just turning my locker combination, and the producer is this person. It's like, no, it's just. They were just bored, and they're like, hey, let's do something creative and fun by ripping off other people's ideas. Ha! And, yeah, that's kind of what that was the beginning, like, 10, 15 minutes of it. And then, again, they just kept having the stuff throughout it. It was really stupid. Really, really stupid. Number 2, yeah, and I don't know if people will agree with me, but the lead character, male character's name in this is Clapton, and I just think that's a stupid name. All right, if you're gonna name your character like something cool, and he's supposed to be like the coolest guy in school, no, his name's Clapton. Not cool. Not cool at all.
Hey,
name him like Max Powers. Yeah, as a
maybe
last name.
Reference.
Clapton is cool as a last name, not as a first name.
Hey man, any last name is even cooler as a first name.
No, not in this. It's like saying this guy's name is Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger Palmer. Like that. No, not a cool last name. Not a cool first name, all right? Not a cool first name.
My name is Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger Palmer. That was like the worst Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Get to the chopper if you want to live, because my name is Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger Palmer. And that, you know what, actually, that is a pretty cool first name for a character now. I take it back. Schwarzenegger Palmer. If somebody wants to use that in their movie, it's cool. Just send us a check, words for my face. We'll cash that check.
None of it's Arnold.
None of it at all. And so let's keep rolling on. Number 3, and this I kind of just started doing this. It started with 15 minutes. Then it went to 25. Then it went to 35. Then it went to like 43. Then it went to 57. Then 65. Then about 77. And each time I had to cross out that number, and that is number of minutes I have neither been scared nor have I laughed. So, yeah, it wasn't scary and it wasn't funny. So, okay, yeah. And in the tag it says this is a scary, funny movie. I was expecting a movie kind of like Scream. There's some comedy in it. There's some joking around, funniness. Or hey, or even a scary movie type movie.
Yeah, I was thinking that like it'd be more likely to me that it'd fall on the other way of being more of a comedy than a scary movie, than a scary movie that's more that has some comedy. I don't know. I guess some of them do, but
I was willing to let it go either way it wanted to. I was open for ideas. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. And yeah, neither. And the movie, I believe, was about 90 minutes long. And so, I mean, the end tally should have been 90 minutes. I've neither been scared nor did I laugh at all. Yeah. So that was that. Number 4, in the middle of the movie, around like the 45, 50-minute mark, they decide to suddenly just jump from story to story to story that has nothing to really do with the main storyline. Like they have something going, and then it's just like, oh, let's do something different. Like all of a sudden, there's a guy who is a fly man comes out, and that was part of it. And then for some reason they do like a Freaky Friday thing, and another set of characters switch minds, and then it becomes a time travel story. Yeah, and none of it made any sense. It was almost like they were like, hey, let's listen to this idea for a movie. Let's write it down. Okay, wait, that movie will only take 25 minutes. We need to do more movies in there. So just I'll throw this in there and throw that in there and then throw that in there. If you've ever seen the South Park episode where they show how Family Guy comes up with their theories, that the walruses what were they, porpoises or walruses?
I'm going to say porpoises just because that's what I like to say.
The porpoises that pick up the idea like ping pong balls and drop them over would have made a better movie than this. It just, oh my god, it's almost depressing. I almost never want to watch a movie again because of this movie. It was just so bad. Just so bad. Yeah. And let me just get on to number 5. And this isn't really a reason not to watch the movie, but it is. But, like, the description totally lied. And I really think that I would have grounds for some sort of lawsuit against the people who made this movie because of total false advertising. And all they did was make me waste about an hour and a half of my life that I could have dedicated to, doing other things like playing Destiny or sitting and watching paint dry or, anything else. Literally, I think I would have had more fun driving a nail through my hand than watching this movie. It
would have been scarier. It would definitely been scarier.
It would have. It would have scared me a lot more. I mean, I would have definitely got more of an emotional response out of it. Like, oh, why am I doing this to myself? Oh, but it's better than watching Detention. Oh, please. Yeah, so this movie is going to go down as one of the worst movies I've ever watched. And it's getting a 0.
Some pretty bad ones.
And it's getting a 0. I mean, I'm no Chewbacca chainsaws out of 5. 0.
I didn't know we could go that low.
We've done it one before, I think. And this one.
No, I think our lowest was like 1.
No,
maybe
well,
half,
this is a 0.
Maybe half.
This is a 0 because it provided. I mean, honestly, it was one of those things. It's like when you're in class or something, and you're like, oh, I want time to go by, or you want something to happen, and time feels like it's going really, really slow. I literally would check the movie every 10 minutes just to be like, oh, is it almost over? I feel like I've watched it for the past half hour since the last time I checked the time. Nope. And that's why I have all these cross-out marks about when it's, I was like, okay, maybe it's over now. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, maybe it's got to be, I've been watching this thing for like 4 hours. It has to be almost over. No, it's not. You still got 45 minutes. It's just like, oh, my gosh. I mean, it just, seriously, was one of the most painful movie watching experiences I've ever had. There's no redeeming quality to this movie at all whatsoever. So if you want to watch a movie that makes you want to drive a nail through your hand, then go for it. Be my guest. Watch Detention. Have fun with it. But if you'd rather just, do any, like literally, it would be more productive for you to just turn off all the lights and sit in a dark room for an hour and a half than to watch this movie. Honestly, it would. I would say sleeping, but you know what? You actually like rejuvenate and stuff when you're sleeping. But no, you'd have to stay awake and look at nothing and somehow blank your mind out so you can think about nothing. Yeah, 0 star. Just give me a Chewbacca chainsaw just so like
I got one for them. How about just
yeah, boom again. And one more time. Another one for good measure. We need a longer boo that'll just go on for 10 minutes because I just wish I could find the writers and the producers of this movie and torture them the way they tortured me because it just was not fair and not fun. Even the horrible movies that I've watched usually are so bad that they have some sort of, at least is a little bit entertaining. It's like, huh, that's so implausible and stupid. No, this was just like, okay. Yeah, and have I ever gotten like angry about a horrible movie? I don't think so, because I know what I'm getting into usually when I walk into it. But this was like below horrible movie standards.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think about the money they could have used for anything else. You could have built like 15 Ebola clinics in Liberia, or I mean, literally just burning the money would have been more productive than making this movie.
They could have burned the money and just recorded it and made a film of burning the money.
I honestly would have been more entertained watching them just burn money for an hour and a half than this movie. Anything would have been more entertaining. So, yeah, zero Chewbacca chases. So...